Okay, I'm doing another one of these. And this one's Toy Bonnie. This is because my friend really likes Toy Bonnie, and it's almost their birthday. Spoiler alert, this does not end well. I ordered some light blue socks just for this plushie. This process is the same as the puppet was, so if you already seen that video, I'm sorry for the repetition, but I'm gonna explain anyway. I'm currently stuffing the end of this sock. This will become the head, so I also measure it up to the toy Foxy plush like I did for the last one. Once I cut off the excess, I sew a running stitch along the top and pull it tight and then knot it off. I made the body the exact same way, so if you're curious as to how I made it, just replay the part where I made the head. I sew these together using a ladder stitch. Before I make the limbs, I cut out a half oval and sew it on to be the belly patch. The limbs are just 4 rectangles. I will put the measurements on screen, but just so you know, they do need to be much wider than this. I sew a back stitch on 2 of the sides and then cut them out. With the side that's open, stuff them until they're about the size of marshmallows, or bigger if you prefer that. I pin the limbs on and also sew them on using a ladder stitch. I use this little circle, trace it onto some white felt, and cut it out and then sew it on all to the limbs using a whip stitch. The bow tie will just be a rectangle that's pinched in the middle. I'll put the measurements on screen, but that will come a bit later as I made this one way too small. Here's the measurements of the rectangles. I'll be using the one on the right. The first one, which is the one on the left, was way too small to be considered chibi. be wrapping this little rectangle around it, kind of like a ribbon. Here are the measurements, and here's how I'll put it on. Then I just ladder stitch or whip stitch, I forgot which one I used, but I sewed it onto the body. Now we just need to work on the head. It looks so weird right now, I swear. I take this little piece of cardboard and cut the length of that out of a white sock. This will be the muzzle. I just stick the cardboard in and then stuff it thoroughly. Then, to make the crease, I just sew a line down the middle of it. I do the same thing to make the bottom, just without the crease, and then I ladder stitch the two pieces together. I use black embroidery thread to make the little freckles or whisker spots on the muzzle. I'm using a whip stitch to sew on the teeth. Like all the other body pieces, I ladder stitch it on. For the ears, I take the last lengths of the tall socks and trace this pattern onto it. Then I use a back stitch all around it and then cut it out. To make the ears posable, I cut out a length of wire, double it, and then fold it in half and twist it up for strength. After the wire's in, I stuff it, but also make sure that the ears remain at least a bit flat. This is the last time I'll be ladder stitching something onto this plush, but it's what I use to secure all body parts to plushies. I cut these inner ear shapes out of white felt, and then I cut all the different colors needed for the face out. I secure everything in place using some fabric glue and hold it in place with pins. And then I take some black fabric paint and paint on the eyelashes and eyebrows. I had already made this little nose out of some clay, so I just paint it black and stick it on the face. Then, I remove all of the pins. Yeah, let's be honest, we all know who this looks like. I hope hope you guys enjoyed the video. Even though I did end up making this really whack looking rabbit, I can't promise that all my other projects will be good, but I'll try. See ya!